Alrighty, well, it's evening time and my chores are done. And there's my Rocky. He's having a sleep over there. I don't know what you're able to see of him. But I'm going to tell you a story now from back when I was driving a cab. And when I was 22 years old in 1990, there was a period of 6 or 7 or maybe 8 months at the most where I drove a cab. Rough job. Very rough job, I'll tell you. Awful. But anyway, I did do that for a while. I drove a taxi in the town of Perth. Now, I'm going to tell you this story because it's kind of funny, looking back on it especially. There was a trailer park outside of Perth on Highway 7, and it was known to be a kind of a rough trailer park. Even by trailer park standards, this was a pretty rough trailer park. This wasn't a camping place. This was a place where people lived in mobile homes. They lived there all the time. That was their residence. Anyway, I think it was called Tay Ridge Trailer Park, but don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. It was a long time ago. It was up near a place called Patinode's Produce, which is long gone now too. Patinode's had a store where they sold fresh fruit and vegetables and things like that up that way. But anyway, I used to sometimes bring people out to the trailer park there. And there was one woman I used to pick up in town quite a bit, or pick up at the trailer park and take into town. She was, I would say, in her 50s. And she had lost her driver's license because of impaired driving. She had been caught driving while drunk and she lost her license. And so she was taking the cab everywhere. And anyway, I used to pick her up and take her out to the trailer park where she lived, or I'd pick her up at the trailer park, bring her into town, whatever. Well, there was one day I was taking somebody else out to the trailer park from town. It wasn't her, it was a man that lived out there. And we drive into the trailer park, and I'm driving through the trailer park, to take him to his trailer. And who do I see but the lady who I'd sometimes picked up, the lady who was in her 50s at that time, walking around the trailer park. Now, of course, that's not unusual because, after all, she did live in the trailer park, so that wasn't a big surprise. But I'll tell you what the surprise was. You get a kick out of this. She was walking around the trailer park, and she had 2 long stem wine glasses in her left hand, holding them by their stems kind of crisscrossed, And in her right hand, she had a big bottle of wine. But wait, that's not the strange part. It gets better. Here it is. Get ready. Here it comes. She was naked. Like, she was totally naked. Not a stitch of clothes on her. And she's walking around the trailer park with her 2 long stem wine glasses and her bottle of wine. Well, I asked the guy, what the heck is going on there? I said to him. And he said, oh, she does that all the time. He said, there's a few single men that live here in the trailer park. And he said she'll knock on doors until she gets invited in. So to just go around and knock on the doors of all the single men until somebody invites her in. That's what's going on anyway. So there you go. Of course, I was 22 years old, so to me, a woman in her 50s was an old lady, really, I mean, now I'm in my 50s. But back then, a woman in her 50s to me was an old lady when I was in my early 20s. So, yeah, I was not impressed. Anyway, I didn't see anything there that interested me. Even now, I don't think, looking back on it, I don't think there'd be anything that would interest me. But anyway, yeah, just she was pretty saggy, I'll tell you. But anyway, oh my goodness. That's just something that I remember happening anyway back then. And yeah, I just got there at the right time, I guess. But yeah, that's the woman that I used to pick up in town and bring her out to the trailer park or vice versa. But that particular day, I was driving somebody else out to the trailer park, and he filled me in anyway. He gave me the poop on the story. He did. That's what was going on anyway. She came with her own wine and glasses. She was ready to party. You know, she was up for a good time. Anyway, that's it. They say good neighbors are really important. So there you go. Maybe she was like State Farm, you know, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. I don't know. Anyway, that's just something that happened. Another funny story, anyway. I've seen some stuff. I have seen some stuff. There's no doubt about that. Anyway, that's just a little. Again, I don't know what that was, but anyway, that's it. I just wanted to share that with y'all so you could be just as disturbed as I am. Um, Hope y'all have a good night, and I'll talk to you later.